अरिहंत सिद्ध सुर उपाध्याय साधु सर्व अर्थ के प्रकाशी मांगलिक उपकारी है। तीन को स्वरूप जानी रागते भई जो भक्ति काय को नमाए स्तुति को उच्चारी है। धन्य धन्य तुम्ही से काज सब आज भयो कर जोरी बारंबार वंदना हमारी है। मंगल कल्याण सुख ऐसो हम चाहते हो मेरी ऐसी दशा जैसी तुम धारी है। हो मेरी ऐसी दशा जैसी तुम धारी है। For non-existence, this will be our last class on this happiness course, how to decode happiness. And 1 minute. Yes. So you could see now the PPT you can see, no?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. So this is the last topic in our course, and for non-existence. So generally speaking, the attributes of the soul or attributes of, for that matter, any substance, they are categorized into 4 categories. Each are a synonym of each other when we see from the perspective of gross. But when we see from a subtle perspective, each has got its different meaning. So the first word would be attribute, gun. So these attributes have modifications, okay? And they are single, always available in single. Then we have dharma, that is called property. These are in pairs, they don't have a modification. Then the third word used for the same attribute is power, shakti. So this power, they manifest directly, like sarvagnatva shakti, sarvadarshitva shakti. So they manifest in the 13th stage of spiritual development. So this is the third in the category, and the fourth one is swabhav, nature. Okay. So this nature is never absent, it is always present in the substance, and that also doesn't have any modification. So from the subtle point of view, if we see, there is a minor difference among the 4, but at a gross level, it is all used synonymously. Sometimes we called knowledge attribute, sometimes we called knowledge is religion, sometimes we called knowledge is power, sometimes we say that soul's nature is knowledge. Okay, so it is interchangeably used, but out of these, the dharma, that is property, those are available in pairs, and both are opposite, seems to be opposite in nature, but in reality they are not opposite, because they both the pairs, okay, they exist in the same substance at the same time. Okay, so that's why we have two nayas, real point of view and conventional point of view. One is defined by the real point of view, and the other property is defined by the conventional point of view. So this 4 non-existence is one of those such pairs. Okay, so existence and non-existence becomes a pair, and they both are part of the substance. Okay, both exist in the substance at the same time and the same substance. Okay, so this is called property. Okay, so this property having two different opposing nature properties in it, and one is existence and another is non-existence. So we all believe that there is existence of everything, so there is no contradiction in that. But when we say non-existence, then many would have this question that why we are discussing non-existence, that which does not exist, why we are discussing. So then the logical answer is that as existence is a property of the substance, similarly non-existence is also a part of the substance. Okay, so that's why we are discussing non-existence. What is this non-existence? The non-existence of one thing in another is called non-existence. The absence of one thing in another is called non-existence or abhav. Okay. So this is the first definition. The absence or non-existence of one thing in another is called abhav, non-existence. The second definition is the capacity by virtue of which a thing does not become something else is called abhav or non-existence. Okay. So only in Jainism only we have these properties of existence and non-existence. It does not exist in any of the other faiths, because other faiths don't have viewpoint. Okay, and we have viewpoint. So from one viewpoint we can very well explain the positive aspect of existence, and from another viewpoint, that is a conventional viewpoint, we can also explain the negative aspect, the non-existence. Okay, so just as a substance always remain in its own nature because of the attribute called bhav, existence. Similarly, because of the attribute called abhav, a substance never transforms into another nature. An apple will always remain an apple. An apple will not become pineapple. Okay. A lemon will always remain a lemon. It will not turn into an orange. Okay. So this goes on to prove that existence and non-existence are both part of the properties of the substance. Okay. And both have equal weightage in them. So, the substance or the soul is multifaceted reality. Okay, many-sidedness. So in Hindi we call it as anekant. Anekant is made up of two words, anek plus ant. So when we say anek, we either mean two or infinite. So when we take the meaning as two, then ant means dharma. Dharma means property. Okay. So anek plus ant. When anek is two, ant is dharma. When anek is infinite, ant is guna, that is attribute. So a substance or a soul consists of infinite attributes, and it consists of two pairs of properties. Okay, dharma. So both are opposite in nature, but they do exist in the same substance at the same time. Okay. So this is how the substance is referred to as an anekant. Okay. So non-existence also comes from that one of the properties of that pair. Okay. Its basis is the power of bhav and abhav. Okay. So in the 47 attributes that has been explained in Samaisar, in the appendix in the end, so Acharya Amrit Chandra Dev has defined 47 attributes, 47 Shaktis, out of which from 33 to 38 there are six powers which consist of bhav and abhav, which is a combination of bhav and abhav. So first one is bhav, 33, 34 is abhav, then 35 is bhav, abhav, then 36 abhav, bhav, 37 bhav, bhav, 38 abhav, abhav. All these six we discussed when we were discussing sequentially ordered modification. The principle of sequentially ordered modification is governed by these 6 powers related to existence and non-existence. Now, what is the purpose of understanding these 4 types of non-existence? First, art of happy living. Okay. By and large, people generally regret about the past events. I should have done this. I forgot to do that. I made a mistake over there. Okay. And they keep on suffering from miseries. And sometimes even an event happened 20 years ago. People still recall it again and again and again and regret and suffer in, grief, pain, like that. Then another big problem is what will happen in the future. Okay. So worrying about the past and worrying about the future is a very natural phenomena with all the souls of worldly existence. So what will happen tomorrow? How do we do this, that? Okay. So in this circle of regretting about the past and worrying about the future, the uncertainty and all, people forget living in the present. And those who live in the present, they actually enjoy the life. So for them, life is a art of happy living. And for those who doesn't know these tricks, they keep on suffering, minding new karmas. Then again, those new karmas come into fruition, and that cycle goes on and on and on. So by understanding these 4 non-existence, we can break that cycle and we can learn this process of art of happy living. In fact, whatever topics we have covered in this course have all been serving this purpose of manifesting happiness in each and all situations that the life offers to us. Okay, so we have learned these tricks. Now, if you practice it time and again, it will become a part of your day-to-day life, and you will see that when there is a situation where you need to be fearful, you need to be in a worry state, you will see that there is no tension, no stress, no depression, no anxiety, no fear, nothing. Life moves on smoothly just by applying the principles. Okay. So understanding these 4 non-existence is a very well part of the life to be lived happily. The second point is to get rid of tension, stress, depression. WHO in a recent report has said that 1/3 of the population in the universe is suffering from some kind of mental problems. Either it is tension, stress, depressions, and so forth. So mental problems have increased. Post-COVID, it has increased much more. So if you understand these 4 non-existence, you will feel totally secured. Okay. You will enjoy every moment of life. And when you enjoy every moment of life, when you are blissful every moment, then automatically the tension, stress, depression never takes over. Okay. Third point, it changes the way we perceive things, because the situations in life doesn't change because those are result of our past karmas. But we will learn a technique where we could see things in a different manner. And when we see things in a different manner, automatically it leads to happiness. Okay. Because the independent nature of the 6 substances and the running of the universe in auto mode, all these doctrines, the nature of things, the nature of reality, all these principles lead us to live a life where we can see things from a different perspective. So understanding this principle of 4 non-existence, it is going to change the way we look at things or we perceive things. Fourth point, it establishes the principle that every substance is independent. In fact, four non-existence. Non-existence means independent. Okay. So if you see the scripture of Samaisar, everywhere they have highlighted the independent nature of the soul. Okay. And this four non-existence also depicts that independent nature. Okay. So every substance is independent. Four non-existence principle also fosters that principle. Last point, it inspires us to face life's challenges with courage, because from outside it looks a challenge, but when we literally analyze it and see things from a different perspective, there is no challenge. Everything is smooth sailing. There is no problem. There is no, I can say, no question, no dilemma. Everything is so smooth and mechanical, just life goes on. Whenever you face a challenge, the principles that you have learned automatically comes in your knowledge screen at that point of time, and it diffuses the tension, depression, stress, worries, anxiety, whatever we have at that point of time. So here it is written that inspire us to face life's challenges with courage, but actually there are no challenges. When you are mentally prepared to face the challenges, then nothing is difficult, It's all very smooth and easy going. So this is the purpose of understanding four non-existence, and you see that each and every point touches our life, day-to-day life, in a very elaborate manner. Okay. Next slide. What is the nature of every substance? Okay. What is the nature of every substance? Because the principle of four non-existence means the independent nature of things, and for that we need to see what is the nature of every substance. So every substance is characterized by substance, attributes, and modes. We had a detailed understanding of this substance, attributes, and modes, where we studied that one substance is independent of another substance, one attribute is independent of another attribute, and one modification is independent of the next modification. So when we have the independent nature of substance, attributes, and modes in our mind very clearly, then automatically lives become easy. There is no tension, no depression. You don't become a doer of anything. Okay. So automatically it leads to happiness. The second is characterized by the origination, cessation, and permanence. Origination means evolution. The modification evolves every moment, and the next moment that modification gets dissolved, extinct. Okay. So origination and cessation is a very natural phenomena of the modification, and the substance and the attributes remain permanence. So if you see the substance as a whole, it is transforming every moment. At the same time, it is remaining permanent, and at the same time it is remaining permanent and transforming every moment. That is the nature of each and every substance. The third is characterized by own substance, space means area, time, and nature. Swadravya, Kshetra, Kal, Bhav. So every substance dwells in its own substance, space, time, and future. It never goes beyond that boundary. Okay. So every substance dwells in its own substance, space, time, and nature. And that is the very nature of every substance. The last point, possessed of infinite attributes. Every substance is possessed of infinite attributes, also called qualities, natures, and many-sidedness. Many-sidedness we already discussed in the beginning itself. Anekantatmak. So every substance is like that. So how many types of non-existence are there? So there are four types of non-existence: abhav, pragbhav, prior non-existence; pradvansha bhav, future non-existence; anyona bhav, mutual non-existence; and atyanta bhav, absolute non-existence. We are going to see the definitions of each with examples. First of all, prag bhav, prior non-existence, the absence of the current mode in the prior mode, past mode. Okay. So always we have to take the current modification. We have to begin with the current modification, then the definition will come correct. Okay. So the absence of the current mode in the prior mode and not the absence of the prior mode in the current mode. No. Okay. It will always be like this: the absence of the current mode in the prior mode, the absence of the current mode in the future mode. So that is called Pradvansha bhav, future non-existence, prior non-existence and future non-existence. The absence of the current mode in the prior mode and the absence of the current mode in the future mode. So example, milk, curd and ghee. So curd is the current mode. So curd is absent in the milk, that is called prior non-existence, and curd is absent in the ghee, that is called future non-existence. Okay. Childhood, youth, old age. So we always have to take the current in the first place, the middle one, the youth. Okay. So youth is absent in the childhood state and youth is absent in the old age state. So this is proving prag bhav, prior non-existence and future non-existence. Similarly, tree, table, ash. So table is the present modification. It is absent in the tree because from tree only the table has come up. So table is absent in the tree and the future of table is that's going to be burned and turned into ash. So table is absent in the ash, which is an example of future non-existence. The last example, wheat, flour, bread. So flour is absent in the wheat, that is prior non-existence, and flour is absent in the bread, the finished product, that is future non-existence. Okay. So I hope both of this thing, both the definitions are clear with you, prag bhav and pradvansha bhav. Now we will see what is the benefit of understanding each separately. So first of all, what is the benefit of understanding prag bhav, prior non-existence? A soul that has committed grave sins like false belief, mithyatva, since time immemorial, can, through right effort, eliminate them in the present. Okay. And manifest the state of right belief and other virtues. Okay. So this is a very powerful statement, a soul motivating statement, a soul that has committed grave sins, committed great faults, committed great crimes in the past, can in the present, okay, by dint of his effort, can eliminate those because the present modification is the fresh one. It doesn't carry baggage from the past because each modification is independent. Okay. So a soul committed grave sins like false belief since time immemorial can through right effort eliminate them in the present and manifest the state of right belief and other virtues. Okay. Classic example is of Anjan Chor, Anjar thief. So earlier he was the king's son, prince. He was a prince, but he got into bad companies, and his father scolded him, but he would not listen, and he was in the company of wrong people, and he got indulged in 7 types of vices. Okay, so his father turned him out of the state. Okay, and where from the downfall started, so he was a Jain. His father was a Jain and he was a Jain. He stopped going to the temple. Okay. So when you stop doing something auspicious like this, automatically inauspicious thing catches up. So gradually, the laxity sets in, and he got into wrong companies, and ultimately he became a seven vice. He had seven vices in his life. Okay, and then somehow uh, he got in touch with a monk, uh, and there was a transformation in his life, and he attained right belief. He took initiated into monkhood, and he went on to get liberated in the same birth. Okay, so the prior non-existence proves us that whatever uh, grave sins we have done in the past, the present is fresh. We can uh, rectify the present, we can put in efforts in the present, and our future will also become very bright. The next is the feeling of inferiority is eliminated. Many people face depressions due to past failures, wrong deeds, some grave mistakes, and lose the confidence to something new because he has failed maybe say 2 3 times. Now he loses that confidence that I'll clear this exam. Okay, so he loses confidence to do something new. But Prag Bhav tells us that the past is completely absent in our present. Each new modification is fresh. You can very well make efforts in the present, and you can see that you succeed also. Okay, so Prag Bhav motivates us to do something new and forget our past and get on with the task on hand. The next point is uh, pride. Ego is destroyed. Okay, so in human life, ego is one of the biggest problem. Srimadji said that if the ego would not have been there, we could have attained liberation right now. Man na hot to atre moksha hot. That was Srimad Rajchandraji's statement, right? So, in human life specifically, ego is a very big problem. You see, whatever disputes are there, they just crop up because of ego. Okay, so uh, feeling yourself to be great regarding your past good deeds, past achievements. Okay, so Pragvav teaches us that all these has gone. Okay, this good deeds you have done in the past, the achievements you have uh, done in the past are all gone now. So there is no point in being egoistic of your past deeds because that has already gone. One more thing that we can add here in the Prag Bhav, this also tells us that we must never judge anyone else by their past faults and should forgive them easily. A person may be a sinner in the past, but his present could be good. Okay, so we cannot judge anyone else by their past deeds. Okay, there could be a transformation in his heart and he could have become a good person. Okay, so we should never judge anyone else by their past deeds, and we should also forgive them. We should not keep any hatred in our mind because it's going to burn us in the first place. Now, one more last topic to discuss on Prag Bhav. What error will happen if we do not accept Prag Bhav? If we do not accept the doctrine of uh, future, sorry, Alright. Yeah, okay. So this was, so what error will happen if we do not accept the principle of prior non-existence? Okay. So if we don't accept the Prag Bhav, all work actions will become beginningless. Okay. no scope for any transformation, okay? And the universe will come to a standstill, which is against the law of universe. So it is better that we accept the principle of prior non-existence and enjoy our life, okay? The next in the line is, what is the benefit of understanding Pradvansha Bhav, future non-existence? The first point, no matter how miserable or wretched one's present state may be, it will be absent in the future mode. So there is a hope, okay? Your present may be very miserable, but that doesn't mean that your future will also be miserable. We might have limited knowledge. Supposing if you are in a one-sensed being, the lowest form of one-sensed being, Nigod state, okay? Very limited knowledge, okay, at that point of time. But in future, you can get liberated. Classic example is 99 sons of Bharat Chakravarti. They came out of Nigodh, attained a human life, and got liberated in the same birth. And they never uttered a word, They were throughout their life never uttered a word. They became a monk, they meditated, attained omniscience knowledge, and ultimately got liberated. Okay. So no matter how miserable or wretched one's present state may be, it will be absent in the future mode. So the poor can become rich and the rich can become poor. Second point, seeing the present wretchedness instead of about the future, despairing about the future, the effort to turn inward towards the self is manifested. Okay. So the Marichi, when he was in that life of Marichi, his grandfather was Tirthankar Adinath. His father was Chakravarti. His uncle was Bahubali. But he never listened to the preachings of Adinath Bhagwan. And when he got into the life of a lion, okay, and there he achieved the right belief and he went on to become Mahavir Bhagwan. Okay. So the principle of future non-existence motivates us to put in effort, and just like lion become Mahavir, we can also get liberated. Pride, ego is destroyed. Our present good deeds will be absent in the future. So no, no point in taking pride in it. Okay. Another point, today's sinners will get liberated tomorrow. Okay. Just now we listened to the story of Anjan Chor, how he got into 7 vices and ultimately from there the transformation and ultimately getting liberated. Okay. Those who believe that let me enjoy my life presently and fulfill my worldly responsibilities and I will understand religion later are making a big mistake, as that later never comes. Okay. So whatever you can do in the present is best. What are the errors if we do not accept the principle of future non-existence? If we believe that the current modification exists in the next and so on, then a particular work or karya continues till infinity. Seed will always remain seed, child will always remain a child, and so on. Such assumptions are against the law of nature, and hence it is a great fallacy. Okay. So it is prudent to believe in the principle of future non-existence. Now we move on to the third category, mutual non-existence, anyona bhav. the absence of the current mode of one matter substance in the current mode of another matter substance. Okay. So current modification of one matter substance and the current modification of another matter substance. Both are matter substance. This is the uniqueness of this principle, mutual non-coexistence. So they are not saying that the modification of matter is absent in the modification of soul. No, that we'll discuss in the fourth point. Right now, here it says that the absence of the current modification of one matter substance in the current modification of another matter substance is called anyona bhav. Example, classic example, medicine cures disease. 99.999% in the universe will believe this, that medicine cure diseases. And we also believe from time like we had grown up, every time we will fall ill, we go to the doctor and he will give us medicine and we become good. So we also believe that medicines cure disease. But medicine is a matter substance and disease in the body is body is itself a matter substance. Okay. So body and the medicine are two separate independent matter substance. Body gets cured on its own eligibility of the moment and medicine is only the instrumental cause. If medicine is supposed to cure disease, then nobody would die in the hospital. Every day lakhs of people die in hospital. Why? Because it's the best of hospital, the best of doctors, the best of facilities, and the best of medicines. But everyone lives because of his lifespan determining karma. If the lifespan determining karma is there, even if you don't take medicine, you will survive. Okay. Many a times we have read in the newspaper that there was a earthquake and the buildings trembled and many people were trapped inside that debris. And after 8 days, somebody would come out of it alive. So there were no facilities, no medicines, and still he survived. Why? Because the lifespan determining karma was there. Okay. Recent example, there was one aircraft which took off from Ahmedabad and it got crashed and everyone got killed. Only one was saved. Okay. That also goes on to prove that life depends on the lifespan determining karma and we don't live because of the medicines. Petrol runs the vehicle. Now, this is again 99.99% won't believe. Petrol runs the vehicle. So, petrol is an independent matter substance and vehicle is another matter substance. Okay. Both are independent. Vehicle runs with its own eligibility of the moment and petrol is consumed or whatever happening in the petrol is also happening independently. Okay. But people do believe that petrol runs the vehicle. But in reality, there exists a relationship of mutual non-existence between the two. Okay. So lots of myths getting busted today. What we have been believing in the past and what is the principle of for non-existence is teaching us. A knife is used to cut vegetables. This is also on similar lines only. Nobody would believe it, but the vegetables are being separated on its own according to its own eligibility. Okay. And knife is only an instrumental cause. And the transformation happening in the knife is also independent of its own. It is not dependent on any of the user or the vegetables or nothing. So these all three examples goes on to prove that the principle of mutual non-existence. Okay. What is the benefit of understanding Anyonya Bhav, mutual non-existence. Understanding Anyonya Bhav also awakens the sense of independence, because when the mode of one Pudgal, matter, is completely distinct and independent from the mode of another Pudgal, it is certainly separate from the soul as well. Okay. So this facilitates the practice of discriminative knowledge. Okay. When one modification of one matter substance is independent of modification of another substance, matter substance, then it is certainly separate from the soul as well. The inclination to consume impure medicines and uneatable substance is destroyed. Just now we saw that medicine doesn't cure the disease. Okay. So there is no point in consuming impure medicines, and it also motivates us to practice naturopathy, because we get cured because of the Satavedniya karma. We get life according to the lifespan determining karma. Okay. Then there is no point in indulging in allopathic medicines which has got a very side effect, great side effect. Nobody tells about this, but it has got great side effects. Okay. And those medicines ultimately lead to some other medicines in the future. So practicing naturopathy is a very natural phenomena. Earlier people were practicing that only. The allopathy medicines were not there. Only Ayurvedic medicines was there. There was a Vaid who would see your pulse here, and he will tell you what's going on. Okay. So that was in the earlier days. And with the modern medicine so costly, hospitals, and it's a thriving industry, you know. So practicing naturopathy will also help you in not consuming impure medicine, because we don't know the technical terms the medicines are made of. In some medicines, the liver of fish is put in, and some medicine, some other thing, some oil. I don't know. Many uneatable substances are used in preparing allopathic medicines. The last point, the tendency towards injustice, immorality, and misconduct are eliminated. Okay. So we believe that if we do wrong things, then only we can make money. But here it says that the principle of mutual non-existence says that money is again a matter substance, and if it is coming to you, you are again, your body is a matter substance. Okay. And there exists a mutual non-existence between the two. So there is no point in getting into immoral acts, illegal acts, wrongful activities, you know, adulterating foods, mixing substance with pure substance, all these evading tax, you know. So this kind of tendencies are eliminated when we understand the principle of mutual non-existence. Okay. What would be the error if we do not accept Anyonya Bhav? All the matter systems will cease to exist separately, and all the separate agglomerates, that means skand, you know. So skand is a agglomerate of many particles of matter, small particles of matter. So all the substance will merge into one another, which is against the law of the nature. Okay. So it is always good to believe in Anyonya Bhav. Otherwise, the nature of things will become distorted. And nature of things is so good that the moment you connect with nature of things, you are relaxed, tension free, no tension. Okay. Now coming on to the last. So we didn't see any of the examples. Okay, we have seen the examples in Anya Bhav. Okay. The last one, Atyanta Bhav. Absolute non-existence. The complete absence of one substance in another substance. Okay. So the earlier one was among two matter substance, but this is among two independent substance. Example, soul and mind, speech and body. So mind, speech and body is matter substance and soul is conscious substance. So there exists an absolute non-existence between the soul and the mind, speech and body. Then soul and material karmas. Material karmas are also matter substance and soul is conscious substance. So again there exists an absolute non-existence between the two. Then we have desire and language. So desires crops up in the modifications of the soul and language is bhasha vargana. It's again a matter substance. Okay. It's a matter body. So there exists a relationship of absolute non-existence between the two. The last one, knowledge and Dev Shastra Guru. So we can always say that we get knowledge from the scriptures, the omniscient gods and the monks. Okay. So what kind of relationship exists between the two? Again, absolute non-existence, because knowledge is an attribute of the soul and Dev Shastra Guru are external for us and they are as good as matter substance for us. Now, what is the benefit of understanding Atyanta Bhav? One substance is not the doer, sustainer or destroyer of another substance. Okay. So understanding this principle of Atyanta Bhav, we can realize the independent nature of each substance, each attributes and each modification. And that realization itself leads to eternal bliss. Okay. So understanding this independent nature, not the doer, not the sustainer, not the destroyer of another substance, insecurity goes away. Nobody can harm me. Okay. Nobody can destroy me. And nature of things are independent. That also we come to know from this principle. Feeling of dependence also goes away because each is an independent entity. Okay. So there is a motivation also for self-realization. Self-reliance, not self-realization, but self-reliance. The next is the notion of being the doer of others is destroyed. When everything is happening independently, one substance cannot do anything of the other substance, then how I can become the doer of others? So that belief of is destroyed. Okay. So you become stress-free, natural, you enjoy the blissful state every moment. Okay. False pride get destroyed because we are not a doer. Okay. True discriminative knowledge, Bhed Vigyan, of self and non-self is awakened. Okay. By understanding the principle of this Atyant Abhav, true discriminative knowledge of self and non-self is awakened. And the active consciousness, which was engaging in external substance for the pursuit of happiness, when it understands the Atyant Abhav, okay, the active consciousness turns towards the self and gets engrossed in it. Okay. It also helps in stop blaming to others for our faults or circumstances. Okay. And when we do that, passions like anger automatically do not arise. Okay. So basically, you are always in detachment state. What would be the errors if we do not accept Atyant Abhav? If we do not accept the Atyant Abhav, all the substance will abandon their individual natural attribute and entity and merge into each other. All substance will become one. This is clearly against the law of universe and hence the existence of Atyanta Bhav is proved. Each substance exists independently on its own. It's complete in itself. It does not require any help for its transformation. It is automatically transforming on its own. Okay. So understanding in this way and upgrading our knowledge leads to happiness in all kinds of situations. Example, 4 non-existence in one illustration. A potter made a pot. So can anyone try and make this 4 examples out of this for proving 4 different types of non-existence? Let me explain. I think it will be still difficult, but the next set of questions you are going to answer. So a potter made a pot. So absence of pot in mass of clay, which was the prior state. Okay, that's an example of prior non-existence. What is an example of future non-existence? Absence of pot in the ash, which would be its future outcome. Okay, so that is future non-existence. Third one is absence of pot in the hand, will, nail, that is mutual non-existence. And the last one is absolute non-existence. So absence of pot in the potter. Okay, that is absolute non-existence. So we can similarly apply all the 4 in most of the cases. Only in some cases we cannot apply, but mostly in all the cases will be applied. So the first one related to modification, the first 2 related to modification, the third one also was related to modification, but the fourth one is related to the substance. Okay, this much we can make out. Now you have to answer what type of non-existence exists between the following pairs. Okay, so I will ask body and clothing. What kind of Esha?
Uh, the third,
Good.
the third one, mutual non-existence.
Yes, mutual non-existence, because body is a matter substance, clothing is a matter substance. So there exists a mutual non-existence between the two. The next, Chetna, body and spectacles and knowledge.
I think this is also the third one, sir, because both are separate entities.
Knowledge is a part of the soul, right?
Yes.
And spectacle is a matter substance. So two
Okay.
different substance. So which one would come? The fourth one, absolute non-existence. Okay.
Okay.
When it is related to 2 different substances, it is always absolute non-existence.
Okay.
Sweet.
Sir, can you explain it once again, sir? I am not very clear with this.
Spectacles and knowledge.
Yes.
Okay. So knowledge is an attribute of the soul and spectacle is an modification of the matter substance. Right.
Okay.
So
Okay.
there exists a absolute non-existence between the two.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Next one is rasgulla or the sweet and the mouth. Madhuji. Unmute yourself and answer. Pratibha ji.
Both are independent, the mouth and the rasgulla.
Mhm.
So rasgulla is, I would say they're independent. So that's number 3.
Both are matter. So number 3.
Both are matter and both are independent.
Yeah. Okay. Next. asat, sorry, asata vednya karma, pain producing karma and disease. Chinmay, you'll be able to answer? She is traveling, so she may not be able to answer. Who else is there? Okay, we are so many. Okay, so again, Aisha, you try.
Uh, the karma disease is a matter substance,
Hmm.
and um, but this I feel like this is related to maybe the first two, maybe.
No, karma is also a matter. So mutual non-existence.
Mutual non-existence. Okay, I see.
Okay. Next one is made and bred. So
But
made,
sorry, sir, that I don't. So I don't understand this one.
which one? Mutual non-existence.
No, this the karma, sat
So
vednya karma. So
karma particles are matter substance, no? Asata
correct.
vednya karma is a matter substance. So when there is a asata vednya, rise of asata vednya karma, it's as
Yeah.
instrumental cause for the disease to manifest in a body.
So it becomes the instrumental cause. Okay, okay.
Yes,
I see.
yes, it becomes an instrumental cause.
Okay, thank you.
Made and bred. Okay. So made is a living being, soul substance, and bred is a matter substance. So absolute non-existence. God and divine sound. Again, God is a living substance and divine sound is a matter substance. So absolute non-existence. Medicine and body, mutual non-existence. Soul and voice or sound, absolute non-existence. Sensory knowledge and scriptural knowledge. Who will answer this? Madhuji, you can try. No? Anyone else?
One
This is
substance is soul substance, and the other one is spiritual knowledge.
No, both are soul, no? Both are knowledge. Sensory knowledge is mati gyan, scriptural knowledge is shrut gyan. So first one is sensory knowledge, okay? And then the scriptural knowledge manifests. So it's a example of future non-existence, okay? So the present modification of sensory knowledge is absent in the future modification of scriptural knowledge. Now, if I turn it around, if I write first scriptural knowledge and then sensory knowledge, what would it be?
Prior non-existence.
Very good. Prior non-existence. Very good. The next. Scriptural knowledge and omniscience. Aisha.
future
Future. Very good.
non-exists because
Yeah. Good.
this doesn't exist in the future.
Right. Worldly state and liberated state. Chetna?
Is it future?
So this will be the future thing because it's similar to spiritual knowledge and omniscience.
Scriptural knowledge and omniscience, what you are saying?
It's similar to scriptural knowledge, that is worldly state, and omniscience is a liberated state.
So which would be?
The future.
No, present state, yeah, future. Okay. Worldly state is sansar and liberated state is siddh dasa. So the present state is the worldly state and it is absent in the future state.
Future.
So it's a future non-existence. Good. The next you again try false belief and right belief.
False belief and right belief. It's prior. The first one, sir.
No, false belief के बाद right belief हुआ ना. तो first false belief is the present one. Right
Oh.
belief is the future one. So future
Okay,
non-existence.
okay.
Jinwani and knowledge. Who will try? Jinwani is which substance? Jinwani means the scriptures. It's a matter substance. And knowledge is a part of soul. So absolute non-existence. Object of the five senses and true happiness. Absolute non-existence. Okay. Object of the five senses are matter substance, and true happiness is a part of the soul substance. So absolute non-existence. So we come to the end of this presentation. If you have any questions, you can ask right now. This was our last class. So thank you all for joining. I had a wonderful time sharing my knowledge with you, and it was a learning for me also. And hope most of you know Hindi. So language is one thing, and the knowledge of the scriptures is what is important. So wherever you find, in whichever medium you are able to connect to this kind of knowledge, you should always connect. And most of you, I think, know Hindi, right? Esha, you know Hindi?
Yes, I do.
And everyone, I think Chinmay knows. Chinmay might not be known. Chetna, you know very
Yes,
well.
sir.
Yeah,
I
today
know,
only
sir.
we spoke. So everyone knows Hindi. So you can join the other class of Samay Sir every Sunday, 8:30 to 9:30 in the morning. It's the same link, Zoom link, but the group is different. I will share the group's link. So we are on to the now 6th verse. Okay, only 10 classes have been held so far. So you can catch up on recordings that are available in the playlist. And I think like I started this course in Hindi first, and then after doing this 12 session, we started this Samay Sar. After a gap of few days, we started Samay Sar, and they are able to pick up, and they are enjoying, all the students are enjoying. So I think you will also be able to pick up if you join. If you want to join, you can join. Otherwise, fine. Whatever you have learned from here, you will carry with you, you will apply in your day-to-day life, and keep progressing in the spiritual path, okay, and ultimately get liberated, okay. So what we can do is we will then close this group, or if you want to continue, we can continue the group. I'll be sharing some of the things, the Jeev platform. So there are lots of articles available in the Jeev platform in different variants. You can have a PPT, you can have a full-fledged article, you can have FAQs on that, you can have means different, you have videos on that. So it's a very comprehensive kind of setup in English, Jeev platform. So you can visit that Jeev platform, and all these articles more or less will be available there also in a different way. But it will be good if you explore those Jeev platform. So that's and they're keeping it upgrading time to time. So already I think around 70-80 articles they have already uploaded, and another 30-40 will come. So and then you can start reading any scriptures you want. You will be able to understand the scriptures, I'm sure. So
Sir, any classes on same timing, same day, sir?
Saturday
Yes.
morning, do I have one English class going on. We are to the end of the 5th sem in Parmagam honors.
Okay.
So Saturday evening, we don't have any classes as such, so that's why I was able to conduct these classes.
Okay.
But then we have this Sunday classes morning, you can catch up on recording. Then we have, yeah, this one on only classes that I'm having right now, Samay sir, apart from the Parmagam honors courses. So Parmagam honors course would be too heavy and it's on a fast track,
Okay.
limited time and the syllabus. So, but you can catch up anywhere, wherever you join, you will be able to understand. And if you have any problem, any point of time, we can always discuss one-to-one. I'm always available for that, for any clarification, any doubts,
Okay.
and any practical application that you are not able to do in your day-to-day life. There also I can help you out. Okay. Anything else? Any questions for today? Yeah. Yeah, Isha, you can go ahead.
So, sir, this question I had was when you gave that example of the mutual non-existence about the medicine,
Yeah.
so the medicine being the instrumental cause,
Right.
we think of medicine curing the disease. And I was trying to link that to in the previous sessions, we had learned that there were like 5 things that have to happen for something to, 5 things have to occur
Concomitant
together.
factors, 5 some Y.
Correct. And so in this situation, can we think of the medicine as like, because you have to, it's like 20% and the rest of it also has to, the bhavitavyata. So the
Kallabdhi, everything.
medicine also has to be taken, right? So
So,
can it be the that one of those 20%?
so for any action, there will always be 5 causes. Okay. So what
Mm-hmm.
action we are talking about? Curing of the disease?
Yes.
Okay. So in the case of curing of the disease, so the disease is in the body. Okay. So the nature is the body itself. Okay. Then
Mm.
Kallabdhi, the time your disease is cured is the time, right time. Okay. And destiny is the disease that has been cured, is the destiny itself. Then instrumental cause is the medicine. Then effort. Effort is here that effort would be in this particular case. We cannot justify effort because taking of medicine itself is an instrumental cause. Okay. So effort has to be there in that particular substance, but we cannot see, only we can see the transformation from the disease to a healthy individual. That could be an effort. Okay. So
I see, because I was thinking effort as the medicine.
no, taking of the medicine cannot be an effort because it's an instrumental cause. An instrumental cause is always an external substance, right? So,
I see.
so disease and medicine is an example of mutual non-existence. Both are matter substance, no? Like that. Effort will come. In fact, effort we can apply in all the substances. The transformation happening is itself an effort. Okay. But only in the case of soul, effort is justified because that is only in our hand. Other 4 causes are not in our hand, right? So that's why
Yes.
the instructions and the preachings are being given that if you put in efforts in the right direction as prescribed by the omniscience through Jinvani, you will have the time coming to you, the destiny also coming up. The nature is always present and the instrumental cause will also be present and the action will take place. Okay.
So the effort here could be that I am sick, I am taking the medicine, which is an instrumental cause, but the effort is
But you
that.
are not sick, no, the body is sick,
Mhm. Yeah.
So that will not apply here. Like we cannot involve an individual
Yeah.
in this example,
Okay.
living being in this example. Good.
Um, yeah, and the same way I had a question on this, on the whole medicine angle where,
Hmm.
we think about vaccines, which were very important.
Hmm.
I mean, and just the changes in technology and everything. So
Hmm.
those have been in terms of game changing, right? If we didn't have penicillin, if we didn't have all of this antibiotics.
No. It is not like that. Even those who have never taken vaccine, okay. So there are people who have never taken medicines. If you consider the monk, so you will live up to your lifespan. That is one thing. Without the rise of unpleasant producing feeling karma, asata vedniya karma, you will not fall ill. And without the rise of pleasant producing karma, that is sata vedniya karma, you will not get cured. This is very final. Now, if you believe in these two steps, first step, lifespan determining karma, the second step is sata and asata karma. If you believe in these two, then there is no point in taking medicines. But we still take medicines just because we don't have that firmness of belief just as the monk has. If the monk is being afflicted by, say, some animal or some person, they don't even bother to do any efforts. They keep themselves engrossed in the self, and the afflictions is happening outside, and they manifest omniscience knowledge and they get liberated, right? Many stories in Pratman Yoga is about this. So at our level, we are not monks right now. So we may do some remedies like taking medicines and all. But if you have become good, if you have become healthy, it is not because of the medicines, it is because of the Sata Vedniya Karma.
Okay.
This is the final understanding.
And then the last question was in the
Atyanta
absolute
Bhav.
non-existence. Yeah, Atyanta Bhav. The desire and language, I didn't understand that.
Desire and language. 1 minute.
There was an example so that you
Let me
gave,
see.
but I wasn't following what.
1 minute. 1 minute. Spectacles, Rasgulla, disease made and bread god.
No, not in the last. It was in the
Acha, okay.
yeah, here,
Yeah.
desire and language.
Okay, desire and language. So desires originate in the soul only, right? Matter substance doesn't have desire, right? So desire is a kind of passion. It manifests in the soul, and the language is bhasha vargana. Okay. It would not be language, but it would be speech. Okay. So there is some mistake in the translation. I also didn't see it. So it would be speech, desire and speech. Okay. So speech is independent, right? So speech is a matter substance and desire is a soul substance. So there exists a relationship of absolute non-existence.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Okay, so I'll be sharing the G platforms link, and if in case I get some good articles, I'll be sharing in the group. You can also share good articles in the group. Now it's open for all. And those who want to exit, they can also exit this group. But we will still maintain it. What you suggest?
Please maintain it, sir, so that we get new knowledge.
Yes, please maintain it.
Okay. So I'll also sharing the link of the Samay Sar also. You can join that group also, and you will be able to catch up. Hindi is simple, but all these applications you will find there. Okay. So it will be a practical learning for all of you. So I'll be sharing that also, and let the group be there. once in a while you can also share any good things. So far we had stopped sharing things, but now we will be sharing things. So you can also share and I can also share. Okay. Okay. निज निधि निज में बताई, यह अनंत उपकार है, उसके लिए जिन वाणी माँ को वंदना सत बार है, उसके लिए जिन वाणी माँ को वंदना सत बार है. 9 times नमोकार मंत्र. बोलो द्वाद सांगमयी जिनवाणी माता की जय.
Jai.
Jai.
Thank
जय
you.
जिनेन्द्र.
Jai
Jai.
Chinendra.
Sorry, sir, I could not answer because I had to get up quite a few times.
Okay, no problem.